My name's Terry Fogartys. You know, I'm a retired businessman, an inventor. I'm a member of the Labour Party. I'm a member of the Trade Union Unite. I'm an artist. There's some of my paintings on the wall here, and a musician. I have friends in the Conservative Party and in the Labour Party, and I sometimes wonder why there's so much irreconcilable difference between the two, when basically the aims of the human race should be the same wherever you are. Now, I came up with an invention called the diagonal lock some years ago. But when you think about the sequence, how it came about, we had the holiday and I thought, this is great, living on boats must be marvellous. And I couldn't afford to buy a boat at that stage. So I thought, well, I'll build my own. So I put the boat that I'd built onto the canal at Knoll, on the Grand Union Canal. That was great. We were there for a few years, and the process of going on to inventing or designing the diagonal lock, because of the shortcomings of the traditional locks that are on most of the canals today, really came about as a consequence of that holiday that we had on the Norfolk Broads. And I really look at this photograph and I think, Sheila, you know, you may not have put two and two together as I have, but it's quite intriguing to realise that the whole of my life basically has been built around that first holiday that we had on the Broads, and that was great. This is one of the first models we made of the diagonal lock. It's almost self-explanatory. This is a rotating gate which opens to allow the boats to go in, and the gate closes and the water comes in from the reservoir. If the water's at the bottom, if the reservoir's at the bottom, then the water will be pumped in to the lock and float the boat up. This is sort of a little model of the floating dock, which is there to keep the boat safe, stop it from banging about inside the lock, and it takes the boat down and up and down, and it does it in minutes rather than as if you see the 5-lock flight at Knoll. It can take 2 to 3 hours to get up there. If the weather's bad, if it's windy, you really are struggling. I've seen boats really struggling on that flight. We've tried to think of everything. I mean, we put some windows here because a bloke said, this was in the Black Country, what happens if somebody falls overboard and they're drowning? I said, well, we've thought of that. We put the windows in so they can watch them drown, you know. He wasn't amused. But anyway, narrowboats by definition were built to look after the horse. That the old horse used to pull the boat along, and you know, some of the horses they would die heart attack because they were overtaxed, you know. So the boats were built narrow. So if you don't have to worry about the horse, you think, right, we could put wider beam boats on the canals, and that would allow you to take, instead of 20 lorry loads, you might be able to get 40 lorry loads or 50 or 100, whatever. That is something to be decided by waterways experts. Unfortunately, things haven't worked out quite as I would have liked in terms of financial support. You get an awful lot of talk, and it is only talk, about innovation funding. You'd be better off going on Deal or No Deal, you know, or selling stuff from a wheelbarrow, because the actual lies that are told about innovation funding disgraceful. The situation as far as innovation funding is concerned is as follows. There isn't a section of your pay structure or your lifetime's earnings in which you can claim back money that you spent on innovation. Because I spent something in the region of £100,000 over the past 16 odd years to try and forward the idea of the diagonal lock, which has been recognised by many people, efficient, important people who've looked at the idea and said, blimey, that's a good idea. And we've got the current mayor of the West Midlands, Andy Street, who's said what a brilliant idea. We've got a full page from the Towpath Talk in which the people there said a brilliant idea, you know, let's do it. You know, it's one of those situations where it makes you wonder who's making these noises. Are they equipped to deal with them, or is it something that they're not really clever enough to understand? I don't know, but I do know that there are an awful lot of lies told about innovation funding. I went a long time thinking there's got to be a mistake here somewhere. And you know, once I get my teeth into something, I don't let go. I kept thinking there's got to be a way in which I can get over this or get round it. But unfortunately, it appears that I'm wrong. There doesn't seem to be a way in which you can get over it. It's part of the system. If you're a really big, powerful financial organisation, then maybe they'll do something. But for ordinary folks, for ordinary rank and file workers, whatever you like to call us, innovators, inventors, there isn't a way in which you can claim any of the money back that you spent. So I thought the only thing I can do is what I'm doing now, talk about it on film and get the message across to ordinary people. Say, don't waste your time believing the lies that you're told. Tell them to shove it, and we'll find a better way. Somehow we'll find a better way. So what I'm saying is they need to be much more selective about who they give the money to and what that money is, what it amounts to. I mean, I'm not saying they should send me cheques every week for £250,000 because I wouldn't know what to do with them. But you know, it makes you think, doesn't it?